say, and the wonderful Simcha of Brenna's Bat Mitzvah. Mazel Tov to us all. Great to have you. Welcome to BTBJ. Before we begin, if you have a cell phone, please turn it off for the sanctity of the service. We appreciate that very much. Books are at your tables on the side, thanks to our wonderful ushers. And if you need more, they're in the back. And also there's a couple of pamphlets, et cetera, et cetera. So we're putting cell phones away, is that what we're doing? Good. If God calls, let me know, I'd like to talk to you. And we're happy to have you. I want to invite you to turn to page 101. We begin with Matovu, which means how good it is. Life should be good, each day should be good, this beautiful Shabbat will be good, and Brenna's going to lead us in our opening song.
Matovu
Ha'alecha Yaakov Mishnotecha Yisrael Matovu Ha'alecha Yaakov Mishnotecha Yisrael.
Good. Mazel Tov Brenna, we'll have you back up here a little shortly, and you'll sit with Mom and Dad and enjoy this wonderful day. Page 103, our opening brachot.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lasek vivina lahavkin ben yom uben layla. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shesani betzoma. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shesani ben chorin. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shesani Yisroel. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam b'keach ivrim. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam abi sharomim. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam atir asurim. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam zokef kivofim. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam roka arza hamayim. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamechim etzadei gaver. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shesalik utzorki. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam zer Yisrael b'gvora. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam zer Yisrael b'tifara. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hanoten laya'ef koach.
Let us give thanks for the blessings that are ours and try to share our blessings with others. Amen. We turn to page 106, second paragraph, Shema Yisrael.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Tova Malchuto Le'olam Va'ed. Adahu ad Shivra Ha'olam, Adahu Mishmar Ha'olam, Adahu Rishon Adahu Kadesh et Shimcha Matishe Shemecha V'Gedesh et Shimcha Ba'olamecha U'Vishuacha Tarim V'Tagbiach Arneinu. Baruch atah Adonai Mekadesh et Shimcha Barabim.
Amen. Page 112, Shir Shal Yom, the psalm for the Shabbat day.
Hayom Yom Shabbat Kodesh, Bo Hayu Halevim Omrim B'Veit HaMikdash. Mizmor Shir Yom HaShabbat Tov Lehodot LaAdonai. Ozamer L'Shimcha Elyon, Ozamer L'Shimcha Elyon. Lehagid Baboker Chastecha, Ve'emunatcha B'Leilot. Alei Asor v'alei Navel, Alei Higayon Bechinor. Mizmor Shir Yom HaShabbat Tov Lehodot LaAdonai. Ozamer L'Shimcha Elyon, Ozamer L'Shimcha Elyon. Yismach Tanalei B'chol Lechem Aseh Techanolim Maglu Sachar Tzadik Atamar Yifrach Ke'erez Barbanon Yiseh Shetulim Beveit Adonai Bechatzrut Eloheinu Yafrichu Od Yenuvun Beseva Deshenim Verananim Yiyu Lehagid Yashar Adonai Tzur Lordi velo avlatabo.
Page 121 is Kadisha Tone, the Mourner's Kaddish. For those of you who would like to stand and recite these sacred words of remembrance, please do so. We probably have others on live stream who will be joining us in remembering their loved ones. 121. Yitkadal, V'yitkadash, Shemei Rabbah, V'alama, Divra, Kirutei, V'yamlich Malchutei, V'chayechon, V'yomechon, Uv'chayei, Dechol Beit Yisrael, V'agala, Uv'izman Kariv, V'imuru, Amen. Yehei Shmei Rabbah Mivarach, Li'olam, Ulamei Almaya, Yitbarach, V'yishtabach, V'yitpa'ar, V'yitromam, V'yitnasei, V'yitadar, V'yitalev, V'yitalal, Shmei Rikudsha B'richu, Le'elam Mikol Birchata V'shirata, Tushbechata V'nechamata, Da'amiran B'alma V'imuru Amen. Yehei Shloma Rabba Min Shemaya, V'chayim Aleinu V'al Kol Yisrael, V'imuru Amen. Oseh Shalom B'romav, Hu Yaseh Shalom, Aleinu V'al Kol Yisrael, V'imuru Amen. Page 122, Baruch Shamar.
Baruch Shamar v'haya ha'olam.
Baruch Hu.
Baruch Hosei v'Reishit.
Baruch Shema.
Baruch Omer v'Yosef.
Baruch Hu.
Baruch Ozer u'Mekayem.
Baruch Shema.
Baruch Merachem al ha'aretz.
Baruch Hu.
Baruch Merachem al ha'briyot.
Baruch Shema.
Baruch Mishalem Sachar Tov l'Reyah.
Baruch Hu.
Baruch Elad v'Kayam l'Netzach.
Baruch Shema.
Baruch Bodei Matzil.
Baruch
Baruch
Hu.
Hu.
Baruch
Shema.
Shema. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam.
יחיד חי העולמים, מלך משובח ומפואר עדי עד שמו הגדול, ברוך אתה אדוני מלך מהולל ותשבחות.
Amen. Page 136 is Ashrei.
אשרי יושבי ביתך, וניהלו חסלה, אשרי יפשכח לו
Yilag David Aronu Chayal HaMelech. Zechra tu v'chayavi v'tzikat chayiraneinu chadin b'achom.
תהילת הלילה ברפי וברך ובשר שם קודשו לעולם ועד ועדכנו לברך ים יתמיד עולם הללויה.
Page 141, the top paragraph, the last three lines are a song from Psalm 150.
Hallelu, hallelu, b'tzil tzilei shama. Hallelu, hallelu, b'tzil tzilei truah. Kol hashama tehallelujah. Hallelujah, hallelujah. Kol hashama tehallelujah. Hallelujah, hallelujah.
Page 147, we continue as we head into the Shachri morning service. Second paragraph is Shochein Ad.
Shochein ad marom v'kadosh shema v'chatov ranenu tzanikim Adonai le'yeshalim levadela v'v'yeshalim titala l'vdivrei tzanikim titbarach v'v'shon chasidim titramam v'v'kerev kedoshim titkadash v'makalot rivavot ha'machavir Yisrael V'rinaya Pershim Kenu B'chol Dor V'dor Sheken Chol V'kol Yitzorim Lefanecha Adonai Eloheinu V'Elahei Avotenu V'Avoteinu V'Adol Ha'elel Shabeach Le'Ve'eramim Le'ader Le'varech Le'Elel Kales Al Kori V'Leshirot B'Tishbachot David Ben Yishai Avdecha Mishichecha ישתבח שמך לעד מלכנו, היל המלך הגדול והקדוש בשמיים ובארץ, יהיה לך נאה אדוני אלוהינו ואלוהי אבותינו ואמותינו, שיר שכר לב וזמרה וזממשל נצח גדולה גדולה לתפארת קדושה ומלכות, ברכות והודאות מעתה ועד עולם. ברוך אתה אדוני אל מלך אדום ותשבחות, אל ההוד אדון הנפלאות, הבוחר בשירי זמרה, מלך אלוהי העולמים.
Page 148, our bat mitzvah leads us in the Chatzi Kaddish.
Yikadal v'yikadash me rabba.
Amen.
Yama divra krute v'yamlich machute.
V'chayechon u'vyomechon u'chayei dechol Beit Yisrael ba'agala u'bizman karev.
V'yimaru
Amen. Yehi shmei rabba mevorach v'yalam u'amei u'mayah yitbarach.
Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yipar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalel shmei kushon
B'rechu
le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata.
Tushbechata v'nechemata damiran v'alama.
V'yimaru
Amen. Page 149, we invite you to rise for Baruch Hu. Bottom part of the page, celebrating our community and our minyan gathered together. Baruch Adonai Borach Le'olam Va'ed.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, yotzer ha'olam v'rei choshech, oseh shalom u'valei et hakol.
You may be seated, everyone. We're going to invite you to turn to page 153. In the middle in bold print are words of holiness from the prophet Isaiah of Kadosh Kadosh.
Kadosh, 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 Adonai Tzevaot, Melech haaretz kevodo.
Vodo.
Yafan v'chayr HaKadosh v'rash gadol, minasim le'matzalafim le'matam shamchim v'yomerim. Baruch
Kevod
Kevod
Adonai mikama
Le'Eloheinu המחדש בטובו בכל יום תמיד מעשה בראשית כאמור לעשרים גדולים כי לעולם חסדו. אור חדש על ציון תאיר, אור חדש על ציון תאיר, אור חדש על ציון תאיר, אור חדש על ציון תאיר. ונזכה כולנו מהרה לאורו, ונזכה כולנו מהרה לאורו. ברוך אתה אדוני יוצר המאורות.
Amen. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Great to see you. So, Brenna, I'm going to talk to you in a minute. But before I talk to you, I'm going to talk to your mom. Rachel.
Yes.
You ever been to Israel?
Yeah.
Really? When'd you go?
This summer.
Tell us a little bit about it.
I think everybody here's probably heard me talk about it this many
I'm
times,
sure.
but it was an amazing trip.
Give us the recap. Who'd you go with?
Went with Momentum. It's a group of amazing ladies, and I think some of them are back there.
Ah, welcome. You guys have a good time? Wonderful.
And it was amazing. And we're going back this spring
As a family?
as a family.
Wonderful. Great.
With
You know,
our-
the second bat mitzvah in Israel, you know, they do those things there.
We're going for a family friend's bar mitzvah, so
Well, whatever, you know.
Yeah.
But while you're there, you know, as they say, while you're in the neighborhood,
yeah.
because you're not in the neighborhood every day. But it's something to think about. A lot of people do that. An American one, an Israeli one, you know, got time. We're not going to have you practicing that Torah reading this afternoon. We'll give you a little break. So, Rachel, what's one of the best things you did when you were there?
Oh my gosh.
See if you're following me, Rachel.
I know. I got a tally for Brenna.
There you go. That's what we're looking for. You're right there. What did you do?
I bought her tally for
Ben Yehuda?
Ben Yehuda.
Amir Chov?
Yeah,
Did you have fun?
a little bit.
Was it easy or hard finding a talit for it?
So easy.
Great. Did you see a lot of talit tov for girls?
That's all I was looking for, so I don't know.
Okay,
That's just what I asked to see, and that's.
right, gotcha,
So, yeah.
gotcha.
I don't know what the answer was supposed to be.
The answer is whatever you tell us. But you were successful,
Yes, I
because
was.
you brought it back,
Yes,
and that's sitting right there with you.
yeah,
So that was the whole point of all this.
I know.
There you go. And now everybody else knows too. Brenna, we are here because someone before us, older than us, handed Judaism down to us. 4,000 years ago, Abraham and Sarah started this whole enterprise. They are the only people in Jewish history that didn't have Jewish parents. They left their parents, started a whole new tradition, and they became the first. So it wasn't handed down to them, except by Abraham's vision and Sarah's assistance and the faith they had in God. But after that, Isaac, I guess, was the first guy that had a Jewish father, because Abraham became Jewish, and all that happened. And this has been going on for thousands of years. So you are here today because you were born into a Jewish family who has a beautiful Jewish tradition, and you can see a love of Judaism, love of Israel, and wanted to bring you into the covenant and into our people. So when Mom went to Israel, she knew she was going to look for a tonsure. That was the whole part of it. And now it's back, and now it's here. And now you're going to wear it today. And you are becoming a bar mitzvah because you have parents who are giving this to you. And parents gave it to them, and so on and so on. It goes all the way back. Nice tradition, I'm sure a lot of you know, but if not, if you convert to Judaism, as people do, we have people who've converted in our congregational family and others. If you convert to Judaism, when you get called to the Torah, we say a prayer of bracha for you. We try to include your parents' names, but if you convert, you don't have Jewish parents. So do you know what we do? Do you just not have that, or is it something we do? Oh, good thing to know. Someone might ask you. You might want to know. Abraham and Sarah are considered the parents of us all. So, for example, I converted someone several months ago. He chose the Hebrew name of David. So when we called him up to the Torah, he became David, ben, son of Avraham and Sarah, Abraham and Sarah. So we all have Jewish parents, everybody. So it's a nice thing, because you don't feel different than others. So, Brenna, I hope you will appreciate the blessings that are yours today. You are alive, you are healthy, you are Jewish, you're surrounded by love, you're prepared for today. And this beautiful talit was not just something with no story, you just got here. But it comes from tradition, it comes from family, it comes from love, and it comes from Jerusalem. And that's a great little list there, right there. So we hope you'll appreciate it. We hope the talit will inspire you to do what it does for all of us every day, to look at the tzitzit, as we'll gather shortly, to do mitzvot, to appreciate the Torah, and to try to be the best woman and Jew and human being you can be. And it's all going to start today, as we welcome you to our adult Jewish community. So with these thoughts in mind, and the story of the talit, and the family going to Israel, and Rachel coming back from Israel, and all the good things, and welcome to your friends from the trip. That's great. Great to have you all together. We are now going to invite our bar mitzvah, Brenna, to come forward with mom and dad. Brenna's going to chant the bracha over wearing a talit that Jews say every morning, and then we're going to welcome her and support her by saying amen. And then with a lot of love and nachas, mom and dad are going to put this beautiful talit around her shoulders on her bar mitzvah day. now Brenna's wearing her talit. Rachel, I can only imagine the satisfaction you might be feeling in your heart right now, knowing how that journey began 13 years ago, and then the search for a talit, and then finding it and bringing it back from Israel and seeing your daughter wear it. Ken Yerbo, I hope you have a lot of smachot, nachas from Jewish life in your family. Steve, both of you. I'm not trying to leave you out, Steve. I just love it. Yeah, believe me, I know how big a part you are of this. But I know that Rachel went, we talked about it, the whole thing. So I hope both of you will enjoy the nachas from this great moment. We're now on page 154. Everybody who's wearing a talit who would like to gather the arba kanfot, the four corners, we'll invite you to do so. We bring them together as one as a sign of unity. And we're going to finish singing 154. And then on the next page, Brenna will lead us in Shema Yisrael. Shalom, kanfot haaretz, kamemiyut, באמת, ויחדך באהבה.
ברוך אתה אדוני, הבוקר בימו ישראל, באהבה.
Amen. Page 155.
Shema
Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kavod Malchuto Le'olam Va'ed.
V'ahavta et
Adonai Elohecha, b'chol levavecha, u'b'chol nafshecha, u'b'chol miodecha, v'hayu advarim ha'eleh, asher anochi mitzavecha, hayom al levavecha, v'shinatam levanecha, v'dibarta bam, b'shitecha b'beitecha, u'v'laktecha b'derech, u'v'shoftecha u'v'kumecha, u'kshartam liot al yadecha, v'hayu l'totafot b'neinecha, u'chtavtam al mezuzot beitecha, u'v'yisharech.
Hear, O Israel, Adonai is our God, Adonai is one. Praise be the name of the one whose glorious sovereignty is forever and ever. You shall love Adonai your God with all of your heart, with all of your soul, and with all that's yours. These words that I command you this day shall be taken to heart. Teach them again and again to your children. Speak of them when you sit in your home. Speak of them when you walk on your way, when you lie down, and when you rise up. Blind them as a sign upon your eyes, and as a symbol above your eyes. Inscribe them upon your doorstep of your home and your gates.
We continue on page 156. The top paragraph is on our own. Middle of 156.
Vayemer Adonai al Moshe
Lemor,
Lemor.
Daber el bnei Yisrael, v'amarta alehem, v'yasu lahem tzitzit, al kanfei midem l'doratam, v'natnu al tzitzit, haknaf b'til techelet, v'yalachem l'tzitzit, uritem oto, Uzchartem et kol mitzvot Adonai, v'atzitem otam, v'lo taturu, acharei levavchem v'acharei einechem, asher atem zonim achareihem, leman tizkaru v'atzitem kol mitzvotai, v'yitem kedoshim le'elohechem, ani Adonai Elohechem. Asher Atzeiti Etchem Me'eretz Mitzrayim Liolachem Elohim Ani Adonai Elohechem
Adonai
Elohechem Emet Yatziv Nefamim
Ledor Bador Kayam Ushmo Kayam Lefi Sanachom Mazel Tov Brenna. Amen. Amen. She'atahu Adonai Eloheinu Melech Avotenu V'Yimotenu Malkeinu Melech Avotenu V'Yimotenu Golenu Goel Avotenu V'Yimotenu Yotzrenu Tzor Yeshuatenu Podenu Matzilenu Me'olam Shemecha Ein Elohim Zulatecha Ezrat Avotenu
V'Yimotenu Me'olam. Page 158 in the middle.
Tehilot leil elyon barachum varach Moshe Miriam b'nei Yisrael l'chanashira b'simcha rabba v'yamru kulam
Mi chamocha b'helim Adonai Mi chamocha nedar b'kodesh norati lo seifele
Shira chadasha shivachu geolim l'shimcha asfat hayam Yachad kulam hodu v'him liku v'yameru
Adonai yimlo le'olam.
va'ed.
Page 158 at the bottom, we invite you to rise for Tzur Yisrael, and then we will begin the Shabbat morning Amidah together on the next page.
Tzur Yisrael, kumam Yisrat Yisrael, uftechu mecha Yehuda veYisrael, go'aleinu Adonai
Tzivot
tzivot
Shemo, Kedosh Yisrael,
Baruch atah
Adonai.
Yisrael.
159.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu Elohei
Avraham,
Elohei Yitzchak
Ve'Elohei Yaakov,
Elohei
Sarah, Elohei Rivka,
Elohei
Rachel, Ve'Elohei Leah,
Ha'el
Hagadol, Hagibor, V'Hanara, El Elyon,
Gomel
Chasadim Tovim,
V'konei hakol
V'zocher Chasei Avot V'imahot,
ומביא גואל לפני בניהם
למען שמו ביאהבה.
מלך עוזר
ופוקד ומושיע ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני,
מגן אברהם
ופוקד שרה,
אתה גיבור
לעולם אדוני,
מחיי
מתים
מתים
אתה
אתה רב
רב
להושיע
להושיע,
משיב הרוח ומוריד הגשם
גשם,
מחכה חיים
אם בחסד,
מחיי
מתים ברחמים רבים,
צומח נופלים
ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר, מי כמוך גבורות,
ומידו מלך, מלך ממית
ומחייהם,
ומצמיח ישועה,
ישועה,
ונאמנת לחיות מתים, ברוך אתה אדוני, מחיי המתים.
Amen. 161 is the Kedusha.
נקדש את שמך בעולם,
כשם
כשם שמעתי
אותו
שמותו, בשמי מרום, בשמי מרום, ככתוב על יד נביאך, וקרא זה אל זה ויאמר,
Kadosh, 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 Adonai Tzivot, Melech Haaretz Kevodo.
אז בקורש גדול, אדיר וחזק משמיעים קול, מנסים למצרפים, למתם ברוך יאמרו.
Baruch Kevod Adonai, Mimkomo.
ממקומך מכנו, מכנו תופיע, ותמלוך עלינו, עמך כי אנחנו לך. מתי תמלוך, תמלוך בציון. מתי תמלוך, תמלוך בציון. בקרוב בימינו,
בקרוב בימינו,
לעולם ועת תשכון. בקרוב בימינו, בקרוב
בימינו לעולם ועת תשכון.
תתגדל
תתקדש,
תתגדל
ותתקדש,
בתוך ירושלים,
חיים עירך,
לדור ודור, לדור ודור,
ונצח נצחים,
לדור ודור,
לדור ודור,
לנצח
נצחים.
ויעננו תירנו,
תירנה מלכותך, כדבר האמור בשירי עוזך, ויעננו תירנה מלכותך, כדבר האמור
בשירי
עוזך.
הידי
דוד,
הידי
דוד, הידי דוד, משיח צדקך, הידי דוד, דוד, משיח צדקך. ימלוך אדוני לעולם, אלוהיך ציון, לדור ודור, הללויה.
לדור ודור, לדור ודור, לדור ודור, נגיד גודלך, ולנצח נצחים, ולנצח נצחים, ירושך נקיש, בשפחו אלוהינו, מפינו לא ימוש לעולם ועד, המלך גדול, המלך גדול וקדוש אתה. לדור ודור, לדור ודור, לדור ודור, נגיד גודלך, ולנצח נצחים, ולנצח נצחים, קדושתך נקיש. ברוך אתה אדוני, האל הקדוש.
Page 162, second paragraph. Invite you to continue in the Hebrew and English and the prayers in our hearts. When you're finished the Amidah, you may be seated. Page 167, we've got our Bat Mitzvah, Sister Alyssa, and Cousin Adina up here, all going to lead us in a Shir Shalom, a song and a prayer for peace, Oseh Shalom. Please join them.
Oseh Shalom.
Bimramav.
Oseh Shalom Aleinu.
Be'apol Yisrael. Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu, Kol Yisrael, Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu, V'yakol Yisrael, Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu, Kol Yisrael, Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu v'yakol Yisrael, Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu v'yakol Yisrael. Amen. You stay here, girls. You can sit down. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Brenna is sharing this day with everybody here, but she's sharing it with an interesting group of people that many of us may not have heard about. But they're going to become very special to her on her Bat Mitzvah. She wants to tell you all about it.
How many of you have heard of the Udaya Jewish community? Well, let me tell you about this group of amazing people. In honor of my Bat Mitzvah, I am excited and honored to twin with the members of the Udaya Jewish community. This community is of about 2,500 African Jews centered around the city of Bala, Uganda. This group adopted Judaism over 100 years ago. Like most communities, they have a primary school, a high school, a synagogue in every village, and also a senior rabbi. Some of the Udayans have had the opportunity to stand in front of their friends and family and become a B'nai Mitzvah, while others do not get the chance. Because of this, I have chosen to twin with the entire community and include everyone in the mitzvah becoming an adult in the eyes of the Jewish community. My Uncle David has a strong link to this community. I asked him if he could find me a pen pal in Uganda. He introduced me to a young girl, Dina Rachel, who is around my age. When I sent her my first email, I expected a very fast response. I mean, who isn't... When I sent my first email, I expected a very fast response. I mean, who isn't sitting with their nose in their phone waiting to hear from me? Well, a day went by, then 2 days went by, then over a week before I received a response. This is because they do not have Wi-Fi or computers in their home or anywhere close to their house. It took her a long time to respond because she had to walk to the nearest community computer. This has really made me appreciate all that I have and made me realize how lucky I am. I have really enjoyed learning about this community and realizing that there are Jewish people all over the world, not just in the U.S. and Israel. The Jewish people stick together, and I wish that they all had the opportunities that are given to me. I hope to continue learning more about this group and other Jewish communities around the world, and really hope to travel to Uganda one day to meet my twins in person. Uncle David, hint, hint, Mazel Tov to us all.
Beautiful. Brenna, what a beautiful mitzvah, the Jewish community. So many of us feel just a connection with every Jew in the world. And a lot of Jews travel, and a lot of Jews often come back and say, you know, I went to a synagogue in this country, in that country, but it felt just like home, because we have things that bring us together. So now you're a part of that wonderful tradition, and we know that you're supporting them, and you did the mitzvah of sharing their story with us, and we hope you will continue and further that relationship, maybe even taking a trip to get there. Is Uncle David here? And him. Okay, we're on page 168 in our Sidurim. We would like to invite Grandma and Grandpa Gary and Eleanor to come. They're going to open the ark for us shortly. Make your way up here, take your time, and we're going to continue with the Torah service.
In kamocha ve'elokim Adonai in kamasecha malchutecha malchut kol olamim וממשלתך בכל דור ודור. אדוני מלך, אדוני מלך, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. אדוני עוז לעמו ייתן. אדוני יברך את עמו בשלום.
Av harachamim
היטיב ברצונך
et Zion.
תבנה חומות ירושלים, תבנה חומות ירושלים.
Shalayim.
כי בך לבד בטחנו, מלך העולם ונישא אדון עולמים.
Let us rise.
ויהי בנסוע אהרון ויאמר משה קומה אדוני ויפוצו אויביך וינוסו משנאיך מפניך כי מציון תצא תורה כי מציון תצא תורה ודבר אדוני מירושלים Baruch Shenatan Torah Torah Baruch Shenatan Torah Torah Li'amo Yisrael B'kedushato.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad.
Echad Eloheinu, Gadol Adonenu, Kadosh Shema.
Echad Eloheinu, Gadol Adonenu, Kadosh.
Gadlula Adonai Iti, Unamama Shema Yachdash.
Lecha Adonai hagidula v'hagibura v'hatiferet v'hanetzach v'hahod Kecho b'shamayim u'ba'aretz Kecho b'shamayim u'ba'aretz Adonai amam rahama v'yamit nahaseh v'kol rush Romemu Adonai Eloheinu Ashtachavu l'adam raglav Kadoshu Romemu Adonai Eloheinu Ashtachavu le'ar kodsho Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu.
Nala Shevitz, you may be seated, everyone. So we're going to invite you at this time to set aside your red sidurim and reach for your red chumashim. A little darker in color, more wine color, and then a little larger in size. And as you turn to page 182, we're going to invite you to give your attention to our Mitzvah of Brenna, who would like to introduce this week's Torah reading for us all.
Today I will be reading from the book of Genesis, Parsha Vayetze, chapter 28, verse 10, through chapter 32, verse 3. Vayetze means he left, or he went out, which refers to our third patriarch, Jacob, who left his home in Beersheba and went to stay at a place called Haran, to visit and stay with distant relatives. This parsha tells the story of Jacob's travels. It begins with Jacob leaving his home to escape his brother Esau, who vows to kill Jacob after taking Esau's birthright and his blessing away from him. This was a blessing that his father bestowed on Jacob before he passed. During this journey, he has a dream about the ladder to heaven, which was the house of God and the gate to heaven. Jacob talks to God and bargains with him, asking for protection during his travels. When he arrives at his uncle Laban's, he meets Rachel, who he wants to marry. After working 7 years to marry Rachel, he was tricked into marrying Leah because she was the older daughter. Jacob honored Leah with a week of celebration and then married Rachel a week later, but still had to work 7 additional years. At the end of this journey, he leaves his uncle Laban's house and heads back home to the home of his father Isaac to raise his family. The story continues with Jacob having 4 wives, Rachel, Leah, and their 2 servants. He had 12 sons, which were the 12 tribes, and one daughter named Dinah. This relates to my life because family is very important. It is important to make compromises with your family, especially your siblings, because they will always be there for you. Jacob and Esau did not get along. I don't always get along with Alyssa, but I don't know what I would do without her by my side. I can't imagine being so angry with my sister that we would not see each other or talk. There's a picture in our house between our bedrooms that says, "Always my sister, forever my friend." Alyssa, even though we argue like sisters do, I want you to know I will always be there for you no matter what. My Torah portion has taught me the importance of family. This is a great week to talk about family and understand how we can learn to forgive during the hard times so that we can thrive and grow into the future together.
Brenna Yashkov, thank you for introducing the story of Vayetze to us all and talking about the love that we should have with people close to us and the closeness to that and what happens when it falls apart, what happens to families, unfortunate. So we're going to read the Torah today with several aliyot. If you're on page 182 in your Chumashim, we're going to invite you to take a look at verse 25, which is near the bottom. And we want to call our longtime main Gabbai, Bert Abrams, up. Bert just celebrated the bat mitzvah of his granddaughter Nora, right, last week? And the family lives in Sweden. They came in, you celebrated them. So we want to honor you with that if you want to do our first aliyah. Baruch Baruch
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
Amen.
Still looking for it. Are you sure it's over there? I don't see it over there. I don't see it. Oh, wait. No, that's not it.
It's somewhere in here.
No, here's Rachel. I don't see it in that column.
Okay.
Okay, Bert.
He already went. He's good.
Oh, he's already.
He's done.
Oh.
We're like totally past that.
Okay.
Amen. V'yaseg Lavan et Yaakov veYaakov taka et Ohalo behar veLavan takat Echav behar haGilad. Vayomer Lavan leYaakov me'asita v'tignov et Levavi v'tinaheg et benotai kish b'yot charev. Lama nachbeta livroach v'tignov oti v'lo higadati li ve'eshalachecha v'simcha v'sarim b'tofa v'chinor v'lo nitashtani laneshech levani livnotai ata hiskalta aso yesh le'el yadi la'asoti machem ra ve'elohei avichem emesh amar elai lemor Hishamer lecha, v'daber im Yaakov mitovad ra. V'yata haloch hilachta ki nichsafta לבית אביך, למה גנבת את אלוהי. Just kept going.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu Torah emet, v'chayei olam nata b'tocheinu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
Our second aliyah, we'd like to invite Aunt Amy and Uncle Alan, Aunt Jill and Uncle Harris to come forward. Bird again, Yashkoch, and Mazel Tov, on the wonderful Simcha. When you talk to Sweden next, I would dare say most of us don't talk to Sweden much. I don't. Give them our best. Tell them we're all are celebrating. Tell them we honored all of them and all of you with an aliyah today. So our reading is going to continue with verse 31, which is on page 183 near the bottom. Yamdu Hashniim.
Baruch hu et Adonai Baruch.
Baruch Baruch
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim, v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
Amen. Vayan Yaakov vayomer Lavan ki raiti ki amarti ki eji solech v'notecha mimi asher timsa et Elohecha lo tiked Eloheinu hakarlah vayimani v'kach lach v'lo hayada Yaakov ki rachel ganavtam vayavo Lavan va'ohel Yaakov v'ohel Leah v'ohel shtei hamahot v'lo matzah vayetze ohel Leah vayavo ba'ohel
Rachel.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu Torah emet, v'chayei olam nata b'toveinu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. Yashkoch to group 2. So nice to have you. You guys can take your seats. For our third aliyah, we're on page 184 with verse 34. If you're following along in the English, you see that Jacob and his family are trying to make it out of town, but Rachel, his wife, took her father's idols and hid them. Oh yeah, and we got a drama here, because her father's looking for him, and he's accusing Jacob, and Jacob doesn't know about it. It would be perfect for like daytime soap opera TV. So we're going to read the continuing story of the family trying to get out of town. Our third aliyah, would like to invite Suzanne and David Bergson to come join us. Nice to see you guys. You want to bring your kids with you? Bring them up too. Right there. You're welcome. There you go.
Baruch hu et Adonai hamvarach.
Baruch Haim Barak Le'olam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai hamvarach le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim, v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
Amen. V'rachel lahaka et hatrafim v'nishimehem b'char hagama v'teshav alehem v'mishashel laban et kol ha'ohel v'lo matzah v'tomer el havika el yichar b'nei Aroni ki lo chalako mipanecha ki terech nashim li v'chapesh v'lo matzah et hatrafim Vayichar Yaakov vayerev belavan vaya'an Yaakov vayomer Lavan mabishim achatati tidalata acharai ki mishashta kol kelai mamatzata mikol kelai betecha simcha neged achir yachecha vayochichu behin shneinu.
Baruch atah Adonai
haolam, asher natan lanu Torah emet, v'chayei olam nata b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai, noten haTorah.
Amen. Yashkal, guys. Good to see you. Good to see all four of you up there. Way to go. We're now going to continue with our next Aliyah. This is the fourth one. It is chapter 31, verse 38, near the bottom of 184. Jacob's going to defend himself in front of his father-in-law, protesting innocence, and he is, because he doesn't know what his wife Rachel did. So the story continues. For our fourth Aliyah, we would like to invite proud grandparents, Sharon and Stephen, to come forward, if you would. Bubby and Pop for our Aliyah. No, I probably messed up. Let's see. Yes, you're right. No, I skipped a line. Aunt Anna and Uncle David? There we go. Beautiful. Yeah, I went out of order. Sorry about that. Come join us for this fourth Aliyah.
Baruch Hu et Adonai Hambarah.
Baruch Adonai
Baruch Adonai Hambarach Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech Haolam Asher Bachar Banu Mikol Ha'amim V'natan Lanu et Torato. Baruch Atah Adonai Noten HaTorah.
Amen. Zeh Esrim Shana Nochima Rechecha V'Yizecha Lo Shikelu V'Leitzonecha Lo Achalti Treifa Lo Hebeiti Elecha Anochi Achatena Miadi Tevakshena Ganafti Yom V'Ganafti Laila Hayiti Bayom Achalani Cher V'Kerach Balayla Vatidur Shnati Meinei Zeli Esrim Shana B'Veitecha Avadticha 14 Shana Boshti B'Neitecha V'Shesh Shanim V'Tzeitecha Vatachalef Et Maskorti Aser Ponim Lulei Elohei Avi Elohei Abraham Ufachad Yitzchak Hayali Gatari Kam Shilaktani Etoni V'Etigai Kapira Elohim V'Yotiach Hamesh.
Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech Haolam Asher Natan Lanu Torah Emet V'chayei Olam Nata B'tochenu. Baruch Atah Adonai Noten HaTorah.
Amen. Yashkoch, Aunt Anna, and Uncle David. Ariel, you made a return appearance. Good for you. We're now going to continue with our fifth Aliyah. See, I gave you a head start. Now you know it's your turn, right? I think I got it right now. We're going to invite proud grandparents, Sharon and Stephen, to come up. Our fifth Aliyah is going to begin with verse 43, which is near the bottom upon page 185.
Baruch Hu et Adonai Hambarah.
Baruch Adonai Hambarach Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech Haolam Asher Bachar Banu Mikol Ha'amim V'natan Lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai Noten HaTorah.
Amen.
Vaya'an Lavan Vayomer El Yaakov Habano Benotai V'Habanim Banai V'Hatzon Soni V'Chol Asher Ataro Elihu V'Liv Notai V'Esel La'ela Hayom Oliv Nehen Asher Yaladu V'Ata Lecha Nikrita Varit Ani Va'ata V'Haya Le'ed B'ni Uvenecha V'Yikach Yaakov Aven V'Yrimei Hamatzeva V'Yomer Yaakov Le'echav Liktu Avanim V'Yichu Avanim V'Yatzu Gal V'Yichu L'Sham Al Hagal V'Yikra Lo Lavan Yigar Sahaduta V'Yaakov Kara Lo Galed. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech Haolam Asher Natan Lanu Torah Emet V'chayei Olam nata b'tochenu, Baruch atah Adonai, noten haTorah.
Amen. Yashikov, our grandparents, Mazel Tov for this beautiful day. If you're following the reading in the English, finally Jacob and Lavan kind of come to a pause in their arguing and their defending, and they make this something of an uneasy pact, but they say that these stones will be witness between us, and Jacob and Lavan both dedicate the place as a testimony to what they did and the peace pact they made, but they call it different names because they have different traditions and they're not all together at one on this one. So now Jacob's going to depart. We're on page 186. For our next aliyah, we'd like to invite Alana and Glenn Dunoff to come join us. And the reading is going to be chapter 31, verse 48, near the top of 186. Alana. Right, you can take that with you.
Baruch Hu Adonai Hamvorach.
Nevarach Olam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hamvorach Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim, v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
Amen. Vayomer Lavan Hagal Hazaed. Beini uvencha hayom, al ken karashamo gal eid, v'hamitzpah asher amar, yitzef Adonai beini uvenecha, ki nitzater ish mere'ehu, im te'aneh et benotai, ve'im tikach nashim al benotai, ein ish imanu, rei Elohim eid beini uvenecha, Vayomer Lavan leYaakov, Hine Hagal Hazeh, V'hamatzeva asher yariti beini uvenecha, Eid Hagal Hazeh, V'eid hamatzeva, im ani, lo evor elai et Hagal Hazeh, V'im atai, lo tevor elai et Hagal Hazeh, V'et hamazeva chazo l'ra'ah.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu Torah emet, v'chayei olam nata b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. We are Yashkoach. We are up to our next aliyah, which is the 7th aliyah. Before that, though, I'll take your time and you can cover this all if you want. We'd like to offer a prayer of Bishop Barak. So every time we gather as a prayer community, we offer a prayer of good health and goodwill being for everyone. So we have some names we want to share. We want to invite you to share some names shortly. Bishop Barak, Avotena, Avram, Yitzchak, Yaakov, Yimutem, Sarah, Torah, V'Leah. Our prayers for good health are extended to Mario Zacharias, Mendel Yossel, Ben. Shane Dole had a procedure the other day, hopefully he's doing well. Alana, to your mom, Marlene Finkelstein, she's doing better, we're glad to hear that. Miriam Batsara, to Devoria Chevet Batsara, Vladimir Keganovsky, David's father, also had another procedure, but we hope he'll come along well. Zeb Pena, continuing thoughts to Feivel Ben Yudit and David Wax, to Carol Baldridge of Chevet Bat Chaya V'Avraham, V'et Kol Acherim, and other names to share in the congregation. Anybody want to share with us? We'll go around, please.
Hillary McGovern and Virginia Braxton.
Okay. Any other names?
Joe Rallis, Albert Davis, and Mary Strauss.
Alan Liss and Hardy Kaplan.
Joyce Don.
Joel Whitaker.
Please in the back.
Aaron Dorsey.
What are the names, Hans?
Andrea Jacobs.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead, gotcha.
Diane Damon Mary, Deborah Smith,
Please.
Alexis Bose.
Okay.
David and Brian Rock.
Thank you to everyone for sharing names.
Rita Joe Brandon.
Gotcha, they're all included. Any other hands that I'm missing here? I know we have several people on live stream who are probably saying names of their own. I know that Lynn Krause and Lita Smith often have names and others too, so we're including and thinking about you all if you're out there in TV land, and for all the other names that might be in your hearts. For all these people, B'tok Shara Chol Yisrael, HaKadosh Baruch Hu L'Rachman L'Chazikam L'Patam, Yishlach Lahem Yimheru Fushin Shemayim, Refuat the Nefesh, Refuat the Guf, Shabbat Vayetzeim Uzo, Hashpagaz Bankari Ben Omar, Amen. A hearty Refuat Shlema Mamash to all them. Everyone should get better, feel better. There's nothing like your health, and we wish it for everybody in a world that's been terribly troubled by health issues the past few years. It continues, so let's do the best we can to hang in there. Okay, so now we are up to our 7th Aliyah. You're going to find it with chapter 31, verse 53, near the bottom of 186. And this Aliyah is for proud parents. We'd like to invite Rachel and Steve to come forward. Ya Amdu HaHorim, and Estherina Bat Yisra Yitzhak V'Sar Fega, V'Yed Simcha both Ben Noach, Gershon V'Rivka, Hashvim. Amen.
Amen. Elohei Abraham, Elohei Nachor, Yishvatu Veinenu, Elohei Avihem, Vaysheva Yaakov, Befachad Aviv Yitzchak, Vayizbach Yaakov Zevach Bahar, Vayikra Lecha, V'Echol Lachem, Vayochlu Lechem, Vayalenu Bahar, Vayashkem Lavan, Baboker, Vaynashik Levana, V'Livnetav, Vayavarech Ethem, Vayelech, Vayashtov Lavan, Lim Kamo, V'Yaakov Halach L'Derko, V'Yivka'u Vo, Malachei Elohim, Vayemer Yaakov Kasher Am, Machanei Elohim, Zeh, Vayikra Shem HaMakom Hahu, Machanayim.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu Torah emet v'chayei olam v'tav b'tocheinu. Baruch atah Adonai, notein haTorah.
Amen. Rachel and Steve, Mazel Tov on this wonderful Aliyah on your daughter's Bat Mitzvah. So if you take a look at page 187, you will see that when Jacob is ready to depart after these many years, and now he's got a family and kids and all that, as he's leaving, Jacob says, this is God's camp. It's the last verse, and he calls the place Machanayim. Our ancestors named places for different reasons. They built altars, they sacrificed. When they were moved by discovering the presence of God in a place where they didn't think God was, we spoke about this last night, about how gods were territorial in the ancient world, and now our ancestors are discovering that there's one God that can be found everywhere and anywhere you look for God. So all this is happening now. He names the place Machanayim. Anybody know what that word means? And it's an open book test, so you can look right down.
Afternoon.
What's a machaneh in Hebrew?
Okay.
Anybody goes to Jewish summer camp probably knows the word machaneh. A machaneh is a camp, right? Machaneh Ramah, they say. Machaneh Galil. The list goes on and on and on. Machanayim is like the plural, camps. Also, anybody ever play a game called Machanayim? Anybody know that story? I grew up playing it for years in Galil. It was like a big game. Machanayim is like Israeli dodgeball. And it's called camps because you have two teams, two camps, two sides. And it's often played on a basketball court where it's like dodgeball and it's like split in half and there's people on one side throwing against you and you're on one side and your defender's on the other side. But I knew that word for years because that's the game we played. And now here you have in the Torah, you see where it comes from. And it means camps. And if you have a chance to go to camp, it's great. and a Jewish summer camp. And if you learn the word machaneh as a camp, that's what it means. So something to learn from the end of today's Torah reading, and I wanted to show that to you. So now we are ready, I believe, for the Chatzi Kaddish.
Yekadal v'yitkadash shemei rabba.
Amen.
V'yamad yivrak yirteh, v'yamlik malchuteh b'chaychol, v'yomekol v'chayid kol Beit Yisrael. Bagala, bagala, ubizman kari v'imaru. Amen. Yehesh merabah mevorach, v'yolam u'me'amaya yeparach. Yeparach v'yishabach v'yidbar v'yitramim v'neseh v'yitadar v'yitala v'yitala shmei kodeshah brichu. V'yelam mikol berchata v'shirata, tush b'chatav ne'amata. Amen.
So our final aliyah is known as maftir, and this aliyah is actually number 8 after the first 7, and this one is for our bat mitzvah. You'll find the reading on page 187 to begin chapter 32.
Tamud, 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 Habachora, Habat Mitzvah, Chaya Mira, Bat Simcha Vud, Vestarina Matir Chiski.
Baruch Adonai Hambarach.
Baruch Adonai Barach Le'olam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hambarach Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim, v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch Atah Adonai noten ha'torah.
Amen.
Vayashkem lavan baboker, vayanashik levanav livnutav, vayavarech ethem, vayelech, vayashav levan limkomo, v'yakov halach ledarko, v'yivka'u vo machaneh Elohim. Vayamer Yaakov kasher machaneh Elohim, ze vayikra shem hamkom hahu machanayim. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu Torah emet v'chayei olam natan b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten ha'torah.
Amen. Brenna, we celebrate your first aliyah as a member of our adult Jewish community. We hope it will be the first of many. And it couldn't be in a better time. You've got your family and friends, your congregation, everybody surrounding you, lots of love. Mom and Dad, Mom read Torah so beautifully today. You've got your sister here, and you're showing her that it can be done. A few years, she'll be up here reading, and you'll watch her from the front row. And Ariel, you're invited back.
Adina.
Oh, Adina, I'm sorry. Where got Ariel from? Adina, you'll be invited back in a few years, I'm sure. Okay? And then one day we'll look forward to yours. So all good things. So we want to take these sacred moments to offer a blessing and bracha for you on your bat mitzvah day. V'shiberach avotenu Avram Yitzchak Yaakov v'imotenu Rivka Rachel v'Leah, who yivarech et habachura bat mitzvah, et Chaya Leah, Chaya Meira, bat Simcha Volfi Esther Rina, shegia yom mitzvot v'alta lichvod hamakom lichvod Torah v'lichvod Shabbat v'yetze. HaKadosh Baruch Hu yishmera v'yichiyah v'yichonen et liba liot shleima im Adonai Eloheha la'agot b'torato la'lechat b'dorchav v'lishmor mitzvotav v'yishlach bracha v'atzlacha im kol Yisrael echav v'chol ma'aseyadeha yiratzon she'yizkora legadla leTorah u'lechuppah u'lema'asim tovim v'nomar Amen. This prayer goes out to the God who has strengthened and inspired our ancestors, whose stories we're reading about these days in the Torah, who lived thousands of years ago, but have connected to us through the chain of tradition and are very much alive in our Jewish spirits. To our bat mitzvah, Brenna Fox, who has come for an aliyah today upon reaching the age of mitzvot. Brenna, today is a great day to celebrate. We're celebrating so many good things. We're celebrating your birth. We're celebrating the fact that you've grown up with love and family, Jewish tradition, great experiences, great teachings. We're celebrating the fact that today's actually your birthday. So we want to sing happy birthday to you, Yom Ha'olad Sameach, and extend that to you. We hope that you and Mom and Dad will take a good moment for a minute, now that we look back for a few years, to see all the faces who are here, the people who love you, came to be with you. They're here for you. You should be there for them. We should all be for each other. And we hope that as life is a series of moments, you'll enjoy as many of them as possible and make them meaningful for yourself and delightful for others. And finally, we're going to dare to look forward into the future. Not exactly knowing where life will take all of us, but we're going to look forward and hope for the best. Be strong, chazak v'yamatz, of great courage. Keep being a proud Jew. Keep belonging. Keep doing things, mitzvot. And we'll look forward to lots of great things with you wearing that beautiful talit and you celebrating your Jewish life as the years go on. So our bar mitzvah prayer to you, from us all, lots of love. And let us say Amen and Mazel Tov. That's worth all getting this.
I think so.
Beautiful. So now we would like to invite those who are going to help us with lifting and tying the Torah, Brian and Adrian Gold. Yes? Please join us. For those who are willing and able, please rise. Brenna, you get ready for your Haftorah. Okay? All right. Right behind you. She's ready. Otherwise, okay. Take your time. I gotta slide this down and push down. You have to lift it too wide. Stand for 1 second. Beautiful. Good. You'll have a seat.
Israel, Api Adonai, Miyad Moshe. Torah, Tiva lanu Moshe. Torah, Tiva lanu Moshe. Torah, Tiva lanu Moshe. Torah, Tiva lanu Moshe.
You may be seated. Brenna's about to chant the Haftarah of her Bar Mitzvah. You're going to find it on page 195. This is a selection of the writings of the prophet Hosea. And he says there in the beginning, how can I give you up, Ephraim, or surrender you, O Israel? One of the reasons why the Jewish people have lasted for 4,000 years is that in the face of everything we could possibly imagine, we have not surrendered nor given up. There were lots of times in many generations where it would have been easy to have thrown in the Jewish proverbial towel, as we say. We talked about it last night. We talked about the destruction of the Second Temple and how it would have been easy to have said, okay, well, the Jewish journey is over. But instead, we found a new route, a new path, a new spirit, and now here we are. And so it's a message for you, Brenna, and all of us. Never give up, best we can. So Brenna's going to chant the Haftarah, page 195.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar b'nvi'im tovim v'ratzav v'divreihem ha'ne'emarim be'emet. Baruch atah Adonai Habucher, Batara, Moshe, Abdo, of Yisrael, Amo, Ubin B'yei, Ha'emet, Batzedek.
Amen.
Ve'amid Elohim Nim Shivati Ve'al Al Yikra'uhu Yachad Lo Yirmeim Ech Etencha Ephraim Amagencha Yisrael Ech Etencha Cha'ama Asimcha Chitzvoim Ne'apach Alai Levi Yachad Nichmaru Nichumai Lo Esech Aron Api Lo Ashuv L'shach et Ephraim Ki El Anochi V'lo Ish B'kirbacha Kadosh V'lo Ava Be'ir Acharei Adonai Yelchu Karei Yishak Kihu Yishak V'yacherdu Vanim Liam Yacherdu Chitzi Promim Mitzrayim Uchiona Me'eretz Ashur V'hoshavtim Al Basahem Im Adonai Sivavuni v'chachash Ephraim, Ubirma Israel, v'Huda, Udrad im El, v'im Kiddushim Ne'eman. Ephraim, Ro'eh, Ruach, Verdev, Kadim, Kol Hayom, Kazav, Vasher, Yirbeh, Uvritim, Ashur, Yichrotu, V'Shemen L'Mitzrayim, Yuval, V'Riv La'anai, im Yehuda, Believe Kod Ayakod Kirachav, Kema Allah, V'Ashiv Lo, V'Beten Achal V'Achiv, Uv'Ono Sarah et Elohim. V'Yasar al Malach V'Yuchav, V'Achav V'Yitenen Lo, V'Eit El Yimza'enu, V'Sham Yiraver Imanu. V'Adonai Elohei HaTo'ot, Adonai Zichro V'Ata Bilchecha Tashuv, Chesed U'Mishpat Shemor, V'Kaveh El Elohecha Tamid, Kinan V'Yado, Mosnei Mirma La'ashok Ahev, V'Yamer Ephraim Ach Asharti Matati Only, Koigiyai, Lo Yimitzuli Aven Asherchit, V'Anochi, Adonai Elohecha Me'eretz Mitzrayim, Od, Oshivcha V'Ohalim Kimei Moed, V'Dibarti Al Hanavim, V'Anochi Chazon Hirbeti, Uvya Hanavim Adameh, Im Gilad Aben Achshav Hayu, V'Gilgal Shurim Zibechu, Gamiz V'Chotam Kigalim, Altamei Sadai, Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech Haolam, Tzor Kol Ha'olamim, Sadik L'Chol Hadarot, Ha'el HaNe'eman, Ha'emer V'Yoseh, Ha'Medaber Imkayim, Shekol Devarav, Emet V'Tzedek, Ne'eman T'hu Adonai Eloheinu, V'ne'emanim Divarecha, V'davar Echad Nivarecha, Achor Lo Yashiv Rekam, Ki Al Melech Ne'eman, V'Rachman Atah, Baruch Atah Adonai,
Baruch Hu Shemo.
Ha'el HaNe'eman B'Kol Devarav,
Amen.
Brachim Al Tzion Ki Hi Beit Chayenu, V'la Aluvat Nefesh Toshia, B'mheira V'yameinu, Baruch Atah Adonai,
Baruch Hu Shemo.
V'sameach Tzion B'vaneha,
Amen.
Samcheinu Adonai Eloheinu, V'Eliyahu Hanavi Avdecha, U'Malchut Beit David B'Shimchecha, B'mheira Yavo, V'Ageli B'enu, Al Yisrael Yesh Azar, V'lo Yinchalu Od Achirim Et Kevodo, Ki V'Shem Koshecha Nishbata Lo, Shelo Yichbe Nero Le'olam Va'ed, Baruch Atah Adonai,
Baruch Hu Shemo.
Magen David,
Amen.
Al HaTorah, V'Al HaAvodah, V'Al HaNavim, V'Al Yom HaShabbat Hazeh, Shenatat Halanu, Adonai Eloheinu, L'Kedusha V'Libnecha, L'Chavod Al Tifaret, Al HaKol, Adonai Eloheinu, Odnachnim Modim Lach, Umvarchim Motach, Hiparach Shem B'Fiko Chai, Tamid Le'olam Va'ed, Baruch Atah Adonai,
Baruch Hu Shemo.
Nekadesh HaShavat.
Amen. Please join us in celebrating this wonderful moment with our bat mitzvah and all of our family and friends. Simmin Tov, Mazel Tov, Mazel Tov, Simmin Tov, Simmin Tov, Mazel Tov, Mazel Tov, Simmin Tov, Simmin Tov, Mazel Tov, Mazel Tov, Simmin Tov. Hey lanu, yeh lanu, lanu, olecha Yisrael. Yeh lanu, olecha Yisrael. Yeh lanu, olecha Yisrael. Yeh lanu, olecha Yisrael. Mazel tov, everybody. We'd like to invite Rabbi Ronan to come join us.
Brenna. So in talking to Brenna and her family and getting ready for today, it has been so exciting to have her share with me and with all of us a little bit more about the Udaya Jews that are living in Uganda. And so recently when I went over there and we were talking all about what she learned, one of the things that she shared with me is this video of the first time a large group of Udaya Jews got off the plane in Israel together. Now, I'm sure many of you have taken planes before. Usually it's kind of like a miserable experience to kind of get on the plane and like get through it and you're just happy to land and like get your bag and get out of there. You should see this video of the Udaya Jews as they land in Israel. There is such excitement, such joy, such just ruach brimming over the edges as you see them coming out of the door, singing and dancing and playing instruments and singing a song that many of us might know, which is Am Yisrael Chai, which means the nation, the people of Israel live. The words are Am Yisrael Chai, Od Avinu Chai. And when we sing the words of this song, it's sort of a recognition of the nation of Israel that we have today, the state, the people, the culture, the land that Rachel visited, that your family will soon visit again. And it's also sort of a recognition of Od Avinu Chai, of thinking all the way back to these ancestors that we're reading about and learning about today, and kind of recognizing that Israel is so many things. It is this religion, this spirituality, this people, this culture, this connection, the food, all the things, reaching all the way back, living it today, and God willing, also into the future. So, there is one of my colleagues, his name is Rabbi Noam Katz. Perhaps your uncle is familiar with some of his music. But he spent a lot of time visiting the Udaya Jews in Uganda while he was a rabbinical student and beyond. And he's a very talented musician. And so one of the things that he has done and that he has worked with this community on, the same way that we do today, where we have melodies and for our liturgy that we have been singing for many years, sometimes also we adapt them to a particular moment in time or to represent a particular piece of our culture. And so as you see going around the world, there's variations on some of those liturgies as well. And sometimes it'll sound more Middle Eastern, sometimes it'll sound more contemporary. We might do something sometimes we do that with Adon Olam at the end of the service, still a pop song or something else. And so the same is true for this song, Am Yisrael Chai. So I want to share with you a melody that is sort of inspired by the music of the Udaya Jews. And you're also going to notice a little something. So it's traditional in their language, their dialect, not to end a word with a consonant. So instead of Am Yisrael Chai, it's Amma Yisraela Chai, okay? So you can think about it like if you were to speak Hebrew with a southern accent, or with an Israeli accent, or with an American accent. Sounds a little different. Same is true for this. So I'm going to teach this to you. I want to invite you to sing with me. And we'll do the best we can, but this way you get a little taste of the Udaya community during Brenna's bat mitzvah. All right, it can't be done in a round. That might be advanced. We'll see. Okay. So we could sort of repeat after me a little. Amme, Amme, Amme Yisrael Chai. Try that. Amme, Amme, Amme Yisrael Chai. And then it's one more time, a little different. Amme, Amme, Amme Yisrael Chai. Let's try all of that. Amme, Amme, Amme Yisrael Chai. Amme, Amme, Amme Yisrael Chai. Here's the second part. Oh, da Avinu Chai. Good. Oh, da Avinu Chai. Oh, da Avinu Chai. We got some clapping going in the back, so you can also do a little clapping. It goes like this. Oh, da Avinu Chai. Oh, da Avinu Chai. All together. Amen, Amen, Amen Yisrael Chai. Amen, Amen, Amen Yisrael Chai. Oh, da Avinu Chai. Oh, da Avinu Chai. Nice job, everyone. A little taste of Udaya.
Hi. So first off, I want to say Mazel Tov. You did an amazing job this morning. It is not very often that you find a young woman who is as much of a die-hard Star Wars fan as Brenna. You might even say that it's a unicorn. Over the last month, I have been racking my brain about on the surface and deeper connections between Star Wars and Judaism. So here you go. First off, you should know this. How many seats are on the Jedi Council? Oh, wow. There are 12 seats. 12 seats on the Jedi Council. How many tribes are there? 12. Yep, we have them all around the room. 12 seats on the Jedi Council, 12 tribes. In your Torah portion, Jacob is running, at the very beginning, Jacob's running away from his family and he goes to sleep on a rock. And he falls asleep and he has this dream and sees the divine presence in that place. And when Luke goes off to the Dagobah system, he starts lifting up rocks with his brain and finds the force, that divine presence within himself. The quickest way to make people fall asleep is to talk about Hebrew grammar, but I'm going to. The word to know something in Hebrew is Yud, Daled, Ayin, Yada, which is very close to Yoda. And another funny thing is when you spell Jedi in Hebrew, Yud, Daled, Yud, it is only a letter off from Yehudi, Jews. So yeah, those were some things that I came across that I thought was very important. And moving on, so when one of the things Yoda says to Luke is, "Look at me. Judge me by my size, do you?" Even though Yoda is obviously very small. And just like Yoda, the Jewish people are small, only 0.2% of the world's population, I think, is the count. But we are small, but a mighty people. And the bigger metaphor here is your bat mitzvah training was a lot like Luke going to the Dagobah system. When he goes there, he taps into a part of himself that he was shut off from, but ultimately he comes out of there with knowing what he's doing to some degree. And what you have done today, after this incredible amount of work and preparation that you've done for your bat mitzvah, you have tapped into this part of yourself, this Jewish heritage, that is flowing through you like metachlorins. And I think what everybody witnessed today was the equivalent of you using your brain to lift an X-wing out of a swamp. So, today, you did. You did. To go into the Yoda again, you try not, do, or do not. There is no try. Today, you did. And may you continue to do Judaism, however that relates to you. Continue to do Judaism for the rest of your life. Mazel Tov, I am so proud of you.
Thank you.
If you have your tan pamphlets. I want to invite you to open up, where you will see the words to Lichi Lach. Brenna, we sing this song to all of our B'nai Mitzvah because it strikes at the heart of really what we're doing and what we're hoping for. Lichi Lach was written by Debbie Friedman, Zichrono Livracha. It's about a journey. Abraham and Sarah took a journey, went through Jacob, and the journey that we read about today went for thousands of years to the journey we're continuing, and we sing it to inspire you to consider your Jewish journey and your lifetime journey. And it's a great time for all of us to think about where we are in life, where we've come from, where are we now, where are we going to, how the journey's going. Are they good? Are they not? Can we change them? Should we keep them the same? And we do all that inspired by Lichi Lach. So a lot of you know it. If you want to join along, please do. And we sing this, Brenna, to you and to us all. Lichi Lach, to a land that I will show you. Lech Lecha, to a place you do not know. Lichi Lach, on your journey I will bless you, and you shall be a blessing. You shall be a blessing. You shall be a blessing. Lichi Lach. Lichi Lach, and I shall make your name great. Lech Lecha, and all shall praise your name. Lichi Lach, to the place that I will show you. L'simchat chayim, l'simchat chayim, l'simchat chayim, Lichi Lach. May you always be a blessing and enjoy your journey in life. Amen.
Amen.
So now we're going to turn to page 183. We would like to invite Aunt Karen and Aunt Sandy are going to help us open and close the Ark to return the Sefer Torah. And on 183, we'd like to invite you all to rise as we sing Yahalalu.
Hallelujah, et Shem Adonai, ki nizgav shemo levado, hodo al eretz v'shamayim, vayarem keren li'amo, tiladecho chasidav, lifnei Yisrael am kerobo. Hallelujah, hallelujah. Tilekach tov natati lachem, Torati al tazovu, etzayim hi, lamachazikim ba, v'tomchem meushar, deracheha, darchei noam, bechol tivoteha, shalom, hashivenu Adonai, elecha v'nashuva, Kadesh, Kadesh Yameinu, Kadesh Yameinu, Kekedem.
May be seated, everyone. We're going to sing a beautiful song on Shabbat from the Musaf service. It's on page 189, and it's called Yismachu.
Yismechu
Malachutecha,
Shomrei, 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 Shabbat, Bekore, Oneg Shabbat, Yismechu v'malchutecha, Shomrei, 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 Shabbat, Bekore, Oneg Shabbat, Amikach מקדשי שבי שבת, שולם יספרו, ויתגרו בטובך השבת, ישמחו במלכותך, שומרי 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 שבת וקורא עונג שבת, ישמחו במלכותך, שומרי 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 שבת וקורא עונג שבת, בהשביר רצית בו וקידשת שבת, חמדת ימים אותו קראת, זכר למעשה בראשית, ישמחו במלכותך, שומרי 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 שבת וקורא עונג שבת, ישמחו במלכותך, שומרי 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 שבת וקורא עונג שבת.
In order to become a bar mitzvah, we ask our kids to do a mitzvah. Mitzvah, as you know, is a big word in Jewish life. Originally in the Torah, it's known as a commandment, something that we are supposed to do, not choose to do if we have time, if we find meaning in it, but we're supposed to do it. And there are many Jews around the world who have accepted Ol Malchut Shamayim, the mitzvah of Torah, and the obligation to fulfill mitzvot. They do it every day without considering whether or not they should. They just do it. That's the way they live. And a lot of Jewish life goes around the world that way. Others look at the word mitzvah as not only a commandment, but a good idea, a good thing to do it under different circumstances, under different feelings, but for everybody who does a mitzvah, each mitzvah stands on its own, helps somebody else, helps refine us, helps the world. It's a great thing. So Brenna did a mitzvah to become a bar mitzvah, and she wants to tell you all about it.
Rabbi Gray, Rabbi Roni, Cantor Benjamin, friends and family, Shabbat Shalom, and welcome to my bat mitzvah. I am very excited to tell you about my mitzvah project. This project focuses on supporting the Udaya Jewish community of Uganda. This community is mostly made of farmers who eat the food they grow, but with little or no money available. This lack of money means that when things go wrong in their area, they really suffer. This past year during the COVID lockdown, they have faced many hardships that we cannot possibly imagine. They were forced to shut down their schools and synagogues and stay home from school many times. Without savings, life for the Udaya has been very hard. As this community begins to open up and the Hadassah Primary School reopens, it needs help to educate, house, and feed its students safely while still under the threat from COVID. The kippot you're all wearing today were made by the members of the Udaya tribe in Uganda, and they serve two purposes. First, they serve to increase awareness of the community. Second, by purchasing these kippot from the Udaya, we have contributed to the community members to help buy food and supplies. I want to especially thank my Uncle David and Auntie Banana, who sponsored these kippot in honor of my special day. In the year 2021, Jews around the world are more aware than ever of the need for tzedakah. Helping the Udaya as they try to join the modern world would be a true act of giving chassadim, an act of loving kindness. According to Jewish tradition, we are commanded to repair the world through acts of tikkun olam. Through the support of the Jewish community in Uganda, we can repair the world and support the Jews on the other side of the world through acts of loving kindness. The people of Israel are family, no matter where you live or what you look like. I thank you all who have supported my mitzvah project by donating to the Udaya community. With the money you have donated, I will send the money to the Hadassah Primary School in Uganda. I have received a video from the director of the school thanking me for taking on such an important project. He said that they will be putting the money towards solar panels for the school since the electricity is not reliable. I also plan to extend this project by teaching the children in the religious school about this amazing community. The second part of the speech is to let you know how grateful I am for all of the support I have received from everyone today, especially my parents and sister Alyssa. I have been fortunate to live in a loving, supportive home and lucky enough to have been raised and educated here in the BTBJ community. Thank you to Rabbi Roni and Rabbi Gray for all of your support in preparing for today, and a special thank you to Cantor Benjamin for sticking with me and helping me learn my Torah and Haftorah portions and blessings. My mom and dad have always been there for me and have given me the tools to be an independent young adult. They have taught me how to love and be there for my friends and family. And as I prepared for today, they encouraged me to always try my best, even if it wasn't easy. Mom, thank you so much for reviewing all my Hebrew lessons. I don't know how I would have done all of this preparation without you. I can't forget about Alyssa. We share a passion for the animal world. She prefers land animals and wants to be a vet, while I prefer ocean mammals. I'm glad that our main interests are so similar. This means that we both get to enjoy our zoo and aquarium trips, especially with our grandparents. Grandma and Grandpa and Bubby and Pop are great cheerleaders. They are always supportive and positive, encouraging me as I grow up. Alyssa and I always have so much fun at their houses, whether playing in a living room tent in Toledo, or making chocolate chip cookies or Nana Mary's coffee cake in Pikesville. I know that when we go to Ohio, there's a really good chance that we'll visit the zoo and aquarium for a fun and sweaty day, and then cool down with ices. When we visit Pikesville, I know we are stepping into the no rules party house, where our worries about school and chores disappear. Thank you for all being here today or logging in virtually to celebrate with me and my family. With all of your love and support, I know anything is possible. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Beautiful. Brenna, great project. Anytime you help anybody, especially people who are in need of basics like heat and electricity, you talk about the solar panels, all that, it's a great mitzvah. And we hope you continue it. And we hope maybe one day, as you said, your hope will come true, your dream, that you get a chance to see them, whether it's here or in Israel or in Udaya. But we'll wait and see how the journey takes you. But we know it's a part of your wishes, and we hope they come true. So thanks for sharing that great story with us. And everybody who's wearing kippah, enjoy this and how unique that kippah is today. We're now on page 204. Actually before that, no. Lana Dunoff, if you would come represent the synagogue, there's something for you at that table there. We'll ask you to speak to us from there. Yep.
Far away. All right, just to be clear, Cantor Benjamin and I did not, come over a little bit, did not talk about this before I wrote this. My sweet Brenna B and Brenna Lee, Yoda, yes, I am starting off with a Star Wars reference, you're welcome. And again, we didn't talk about this. Yoda says, do or not do, there is no try. Well, Brenna, you do, and you did. Mazel Tov on all of your preparing and all your doing and all your executing for your bat mitzvah. And Mazel Tov and Yasher Koach to your parents. A special shout out to you, Liz. Start to count the number of people who say you're next, because that's going to happen. To your grandparents, aunts, uncles, cousins, the whole mishpacha who is here celebrating with you today. Brenna, you have been in our lives and in our home, in our daughter Sophia's world for longer than I can remember. The two of you do a lot. And you often do it together, laughing and giggling as only besties can. Brenna, one thing you do particularly well is care. You care about people you know, you care about people you don't know, as evidenced by your mitzvah project. You care about animals and dolphins, very sorry about winter. You care about life and humanity. You care about letting people you love know that you love them. Even Glenn and I both have gotten Mother's and Father's Day shout-outs along the way. Your acts of kindness means a lot. I do have one bone to pick with Yoda, though. He doesn't have a lot of credence or the value into this idea of trying. Yet it is trying that opens our eyes and minds to new things. I think trying takes courage, and trying is doing. Trying is better than just sitting on the couch, letting life pass you by. And Brenna, you have tried a lot of things. There was dance, gymnastics, soccer, archery, camps, flute. And each of these tries, successful or not, have helped you grow and experience life. You and Sophia also try makeup and clothes and hairstyles and recipes. You convinced Sophia to try watching Star Wars and Hercules and a whole bunch of other things she would not have explored on her own. That is what makes you besties. Besties encourage each other to try and share and experience the world together. Brenna, because you care about the world, you try and you do. Before I wrap up, I need to talk to the folks over there a little bit. Rachel, Steve, you are definitely doing something right. Both of your girls are full of love and compassion. Apple trees make apples. Rachel, thank you for your work and leadership in our sisterhood and volunteering with events like Shabbaton. And Steve, thank you for being the supporting rock, always helping and carpooling. Brenna, Mazel Tov again to you. It is such a pleasure to watch you grow, literally, because you keep getting taller. My wish for you is that you always care, that you always try, and that you always do, and that your light always shines bright. Brenna, on behalf of the board, BTBJ board, the religious school, and the parent support group, the sisterhood, and the men's club, I'm honored to present you with gifts of a Kiddush cup and a Tanakh. May they become part of your continued path in Judaism. We are all so proud and love you, and happy birthday, and Shabbat Shalom.
Okay, thank you, Alana. We're now on page 204, singing Ein Keloheinu, 204.
Ein Keloheinu, Ein Kadoneinu, Ein Kemalkeinu, Ein Moshienu, Mi Eloheinu, Mi Kadoneinu, Mi Kemalkeinu, Mi Moshienu. Nodel Eloheinu, Nodel Adonenu, Nodel Emalkeinu, Nodel Moshienu, Baruch Eloheinu, Baruch Adonenu, Baruch Malkeinu, Baruch Moshienu. Atahu Eloheinu, Atahu Adonenu, Atahu Malkeinu, Atahu Moshienu, Atahu Sheitiru Avoteinu, Lefanecha et Ketoret Hasamim.
We invite you to rise for Aleinu on the next page, 205.
Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, l'tekru la liotzer breshit, shelo asar pigayei haratzot, velo samanu k'mishpachot adama, shelo sam chalkeinu kahem, v'gar aleinu kechol amonam, v'anachnu korim, u'mishtachavim u'modim, Leifnei melech malchei hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, v'ne'emar v'haya Adonai l'melech al kol ha'aretz, bayom hahu, yeh Adonai echad, u'shmo echad.
For those who would like to recite the Mourner's Kaddish, we'll invite you to remain standing. Everyone else can be seated. Those who are joining us in the sacred words of remembrance, you'll find them on 207. For those who are here in the sanctuary with us, and for those who are with us on live stream, wherever you might be, we remember B'Avah with great love as we say, Yitkadal, Yitkadash, Shemei Rabbah, B'Alma, Divra, Kirutei, B'Amlik, Malchutei, B'Chayechon, B'Yomechon, U'B'Chayei, B'Chol Beit Yisrael, B'Agala, U'Bizman Kariv, V'Yimaru, Amen. Yehei Shmei Rabbah Mevarach, Leolam, U'Lomei Almayah. Yitbarach, V'Yishtabach, V'Yitpa'ar, V'Yitromah, V'Yitnaseh, V'Yitadar, V'Yitaleh, V'Yitalal. Shmei Kudsha Brichu, Le'elah Mikol Birchata V'Shirata, Tushbechata V'Nechamata, Dam Miran V'Alama V'Yimaru, Amen. Yehei Shloma Rabba V'Shemaya, V'Chayim Aleinu V'Al Kol Yisrael V'Yimaru, Amen. Oseh Shalom V'Romav, Hu Yaseh Shalom, Aleinu V'Al Kol Yisrael V'Yimaru, Amen. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Great to have you with us. We hope you're enjoying this wonderful day of Shabbat and a bat mitzvah and living in life and togetherness. And it's a great joy to see so many people in the sanctuary. Brenna, Mazel Tov on behalf of us all. You heard it once, I'm sure you hear it a lot more this weekend. You did a great job, you prepared, you did amazingly. And we're so happy for not only what you accomplished, but all that you did that sets you up for all you'll accomplish Jewishly in the future. So appreciate and treasure your heritage, your talit, your new gifts of the congregation, and go out and live a good Jewish life and strengthen our people in your own way. Mom and Dad, Rachel and Steve, we love having you part of our congregational family. What a joy. 13 years in the making, and those beautiful moments looking for a house in Israel and enjoying Israel, planning to take the whole family back. Beautiful. Enjoy your family and friends. Enjoy this day. Alyssa, you were such a help to your sister. Bouncing up here to sing different things, and we'll look forward to your bar mitzvah maybe about 3 years from now. We'll see if you actually have it exactly on your birthday like your sister. No?
It's like-
What? A little while off? Okay. We'll count it one of the same. Still be good. Proud grandparents, Sharon, Steve, Eleanor, and Gary, and proud great-grandmother Carolyn. Mazel Tov and congratulations to all of you guys. We're so happy to celebrate with you, and all the relatives and friends are here today. Mazel Tov to you all. So, Brenna, you've heard a lot of wonderful inspiration, both leading up to this day and today. I want to share one final thought with you. The name of your parsha is Vayetze. You may forget every word or a lot of words of the reading here and there, but hopefully remember Vayetze for a lifetime. Because there's no doubt that over the course of a lifetime, people might ask you, do you remember your bar mitzvah? What was the portion? And if you can say, wow, Vayetze, it'd be great. You know the connection with it. In the book of Genesis, story of Jacob, you know the story, you read it. So you're Vayetze. Vayetze means he went out, or he exited. It comes from the word yatzah. In Israel, when you go in the spring, when you see perhaps a red neon sign above a door that says Yitziah, that means that's the exit. That's the way to go out. So you'll know that word. And you can walk around Israel looking all like we have them here in English, the exit signs, and go, that's my Torah portion. That's my Torah portion. We do it too much. People might think you're a little off, but but you can explain it to them, teach them some Torah, Yitziah. So Vayetze, Jacob went out. The first pasuk is, we know that he's running from his brother's anger, so he's going to go to distant relatives in order to hang out there until things cool down. So it says, Vayetze Yaakov bi Beersheva vayel Haran. He left Beersheba, where the family was, in Canaan, and he went to Haran. Rashi, one of our greatest commentators, asked the following question. It's a Rashi I studied a long time ago, and it's always stuck with me. And I'm so happy to share it with you on your actual day. I would share it with anybody on any day, but today it has added meaning because we're reading it. Rashi says, why does it say that Jacob left Beersheba? It's not really that important. What's important is the future, where he's going. He's going to Haran. He's going to try to seek refuge from his brother's anger. He's going to try to establish new life. He's going to try to find kinsmen, family, figure out what to do with his life. And we know that he marries, has kids. Why does the Parsha just say Vayelech Harana and called Vayelech? We actually have a Vayelech. That's later in Deuteronomy, near the end of the Torah. So they could have figured out something else. Could name it Haran or whatever. He says, why do you say Vayetze? That's like old news. We don't need to know he's going, so we left. We need to know where he's going. And of course, Rashi answers his own question. He says, when a person who has worth, when a person of stature, when a person who's good, when a person is loved, when a person is counted on, when a person is part of something that's good, says that person's life and presence makes a difference. Jacob is going to be the third patriarch. That's pretty notable. You know, we only have 3 patriarchs, and he's one of them. That's pretty big. We remember him today, thousands of years later. So Rashi says, Jacob the son, the righteous man, and he was righteous in some ways, but he was still a work in progress. Took away a couple things from his brother. You can argue whether he was right or not. Also in dealing with his father-in-law, same thing. But he's a work in progress, like we all are. Trying to become better, a little smarter, a little wiser, a little nicer. Says, when Jacob left his home in Beersheba, because of his goodness, his absence was noted. And that's why it started with he left. Because the place, as they say, just weren't the same anymore. Without his righteousness, without his presence, without his being a son and a brother and all that he meant to people, just wasn't the same. Part of what made Beersheba special had left. Part of what brought light and goodness left. And the place was just not as special. But now Haran is going to be blessed because he's going to go there. So I love that Rashi because it reminds us and really is a message to us all. Live a life that where you are, people are happy you're there. And live a life that when you leave, people are sad you left. There's no doubt, one day, God be willing, maybe you'll be a parent. When parents say goodbye to their kids, whether they go to camp or they go to school, there's a sense of, oh, we'll miss them already, you know? Because we love them so much. And the day is good, but we're looking forward to seeing them again. Whether you get picked up at the bus stop or you walk home or whatever it is for dinner, we gather, we can't wait to see you again. Live a life where people are happy to see you and are not sad because you're there. How sad is it? And we've all heard this as people talk about others from time to time. How sad is it when somebody leaves and people are like happy? Oh, I thought they'd never leave, you know, for whatever reason. But it happens to all of us. And it's sad because it means that people feel they're better off without you in one way or another. But if you can live a life where your absence is noted, then it means people love you. And it's a great thing. And you're doing great things. It's one thing to leave for 6-7 hours the school day and come home and see your folks again. But we live in a world, especially lately because of the pandemic, and today we have people saying the mourner's gosh. There are people who make a final departure at some point, everybody in this world, that when they die, they leave, and they leave. They're gone. And they are so missed. People mourn them. They love them. They say Kaddish for them. They wish they could steal 5 more minutes with them. And we do all we can with white lights and say Yizkor, because they're missed. We wish they were here. We're not happy they're not here. And their absence is noted and changes life forever. So I wanted to share that with you, Brent. We hope that when you see your family and your friends, you'll be happy they're there. And you won't be happy when they leave. And the same thing for you. Live a life in which you're a good daughter and a sister and a friend and a relative, so that when people see you coming, they smile, and when they hear you got to go, they're upset. And they look forward to the next time you see you. And that's what Vayetze means, Rashi says. Make your life count, so it makes a difference when you're there and when you're not. And you have done that, and hopefully we all have that with people that we love, and I wanted to share that with you on your Bat Mitzvah day. You've received a lot of great teachings and inspiration. We hope you'll be inspired by them all. Mazel Tov.
Thank you.
So now, we would like to invite proud parents to come join us on the Bima. So, Brenna, on this beautiful day of your Bat Mitzvah, Shabbat Vayetze, 5782, on behalf of the congregation, we want to give you this beautiful certificate that will always remind you that today you entered our adult Jewish community. That certificate will set you up for a whole lifetime of great Jewish things. We hope you'll treasure it. We hope you'll remember this day. Remember Vayetze, it means he left, referring to Jacob, and it'll give you a great start for everything yet to come. Mazel Tov and enjoy that.
Thank you.
So my speech has nothing to do with Star Wars. So can you believe it? Like, we're here, look, this is amazing. So when we received your bat mitzvah date almost 3 years ago, we were so excited that we would also be celebrating this day on your birthday. When you were born 13 years ago today, you made us parents and gave us the most important job that came with no job description. You hired us for the most important position we would ever hold, and we had no idea what to do or what was in store for us, but we knew that we were in love. Now, you weren't always the easiest little girl, hence the nickname Brenna Bear, but the love you have always shown Daddy and me is immeasurable. Brenna, you continue to impress us. You are a great student and always push yourself to do better. You are a great friend. You are strong-willed, loving, brave, smart, and beautiful. While we don't always agree, and every once in a while we argue, At the end of the day, we always come to some kind of agreement or compromise, or agree to disagree, and never go to bed upset with each other. A couple of years after you were born, we thought it would be a good idea to give you a sibling. Lucky for Alyssa, we had some practice at this parenting, and you are now a big sister. Alyssa is so lucky to have you by her side. Even though you don't always see eye to eye, you are a great big sister and role model. We know you will do anything for her, even if she doesn't want your help. I love the friendship you are creating as you grow up together, and know the bond will continue to grow. As you know, when I became a bat mitzvah, I was not given the opportunity to read out of the Torah, and neither was my mom, your Bubby. I never imagined that almost 30 years later, I would have the chance to chant the Torah with you and my mom for the first time on the same bima. What an honor. I think I can speak for Bubby by saying we're so proud to be given this honor with you. Bren, Daddy, and I continue to be amazed by you and want to wish you a happy, happy birthday and a huge Mazel Tov on your preparation and hard work for today. You've done an amazing job. I can't believe I'm not crying and you are. And we can't wait to celebrate you more tonight. We love you.
So I do have Star Wars references. Brenna Bear. So I guess I'm supposed to give you some words of wisdom, though seeing that you're now a teenager, I don't have much to offer. I can't offer you advice on the chat snap, or the TikTok, or the Instagram. I clearly can't offer you fashion advice, as I don't understand teenage fashion. Why would you want to wear holy jeans, or shirts with missing shoulders? Of course you're going to be cold. You're missing half a shirt that costs double the price. So I'm clearly missing something. Well, I can offer you this. I can offer you perspective. Perspective in terms of what you've accomplished today and the years of hard work that you put into arriving at your bat mitzvah. You persevered through years of Hebrew school, learning about history and traditions, and a language with funny-looking characters and odd sounds. You persevered through bat mitzvah lessons with Cantor Benjamin during a pandemic, though it sounds like the two of you spent a lot of time discussing Star Wars plot holes and your least favorite characters. And you even persevered through a concussion a few weeks ago when your school bus got rear-ended. You persevered through all of this to accomplish a monumental goal. And a foot injury. As you enter your teenage years, it becomes important to set your own goals and to follow your own path in life, a path in life that you want to lead. Discover what interests you, what activities you want to participate in, and what organizations you want to support. Today proves that you can do anything you put your mind to. It's just a matter of persevering. As the wise Yoda said, do or do not, there is no try. You can do anything you put your mind to. You will undoubtedly come across challenges as you navigate your path in life. You'll look back on your bat mitzvah and how you persevered, little by little, to accomplish a major milestone in your life. You'll have many more milestones to accomplish. This is just the beginning. As you enter your teenage years, aim high. Reach for the stars, or maybe Tatooine, or Dagobah. I'd recommend staying away from Mustafar, and to know that you can accomplish anything. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise, not even your sister. Know that you will always have your family and friends that support you. Just don't ask me for fashion advice or social media advice. That's for mommy. Many mazels, and may the Schwartz be with you.
Let's put this so that there's room for the challah.
So Shabbat Shalom, everyone. We're coming near the end of our morning program and festivities. It's been a joy to have you. We want to remind you. We want to remind you to drive carefully when you leave. We try to design our parking lot so it's a horseshoe that goes one way around that way. So if you go that way, you won't run into each other. And paper mill's often very busy, so be careful exiting. Tomorrow morning we have Minyan at 9:30, and then another week of activities. And we hope that you will have a blessed week, as I guess Halloween is over, and now we're heading into the Thanksgiving season. So we hope you have great plans for family and friends and all that's wonderful about that day. We are now going to invite you to rise and to put your arms around each other for for those of you who are comfortable doing so, because we want to bless.
Adina, come here. Come here.
We want to bless our bat mitzvah with these sacred words from the Torah and bless us all. Ken Yiratzon. Ken Yiratzon. Ken Yiratzon. May the Lord bless you and keep you, give you light and give you peace, and let us say Amen.
Amen.
We sing Shechianu to celebrate this beautiful moment. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shechianu v'kimanu lazman hazeh Amen. We're going to join together in the bracha over the grape juice that's check it out. I can't wait to see your face first time you try some wine. That should be interesting, right? And if you don't, that's okay too.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen.
L'chaim. Beautiful. Girls, here we go. You hold this. You hold this. Right? Real loudly, hold them up high. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen. L'chaim v'te'avon. Shabbat shalom, everyone. Great to have you. We'll see you in the Nuttall lobby, where the Foxes have prepared a beautiful Kiddush luncheon for us all, and we will see you there. Rachel.